Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm going to be talking about the books I'm going to be reading in December. There will be a TBR going up from me talking about the books I'm going to be reading for a readathon that's happening this month, but I also have a lot of other Christmassy books on my shelf and I want to get through them this time of year. So let's talk about all of those books now. A lot of these books are middle grade books because that kick is continuing. I'm just feeling it. But the first one is not, and that is The Toy Makers by Robert Dinsdale. This was recommended to me by a subscriber who said that they'd read it. They said it was a really good book, and so I picked it up myself because I thought it sounded brilliant and very Christmassy. This is the story of a toy shop and a toy emporium, and it opens at the first frost of winter. It's set during wartime. It's got magical toys in there that seem as if they're alive, and we're following someone who enters the toy shop. I don't know if she's she comes into the family business, so it's one of the family comes in and is running away from something herself and discovers the magic of this toy emporium. So I'm looking forward to this one. Throughout the month of December I'm going to be reading these stories. Mercedes and Lauren picked these up when we were up at Mercedes' house, but I picked it up after because I just couldn't help myself, and that is Winter Magic. These are stories which have been curated by Abby Elphinstone, who I haven't read anything from, but I've seen quite a few of her books on shelves recently. I believe there are 12 stories in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 11 stories. But I shall be reading these over the month, maybe one every couple of days, or maybe one a day from the beginning of the month. There's stories from Michelle Harrison, Piers Torday, Lauren St John, Amy Alwood, Catherine Woodfine, Geraldine McCorian, Burley Doherty, Jamelia Gavin, Michelle Magorian, Emma Carroll, and Abby Elphinstone. So not only is this cover beautiful, there is lots of interesting authors in here for me to find out a bit more about and see if I want to read any of their longer works. So I shall be starting this on the 1st. Next is another adult book, and that is The Redbird Christmas by Fanny Flagg. I've had this on my shelf since last Christmas, where I didn't get round to reading it, so I've decided this year I'm going to try and push myself. This is set in a small town in Alabama at Christmas time and is just following the people that live in this town, and I just think it sounds really interesting. Fanny Flagg wrote Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe, which I really enjoyed, and I just think this is going to be a really good snapshot into life in this small Alabama town. Another adult book, I've got more adult books than I thought, and that is Nancy Mitford's Christmas Pudding. I really like Nancy Mitford's writing, and this one sounded very fun and Christmassy. This again is going to be a snapshot into a particular moment in time at Christmas. At this point it is formidable fox hunter Lady Bobbin who's holding a Christmas house party, and we will meet all the various eccentric and interesting characters, no doubt, that attend this party. It's quite a short book at under 200 pages, and I just think it looks like a lot of fun. Next up is a children's book, and that is The Night I Met Father Christmas by Ben Miller. I love the look of this book with its gold foiling. It's got beautiful Russian doll end papers. This story is about a young boy. He knows everything about Father Christmas. He knows about the reindeer, he knows about the North Pole, but he doesn't really know about how Father Christmas became Father Christmas. And one day he meets Father Christmas and he hears his story. I love these sort of stories where someone has imagined Father Christmas's origin story, and I look forward to reading this one. Next up is Green Glass House by Kate Milford. This is the story set in wintertime at Green Glass House, which is a creaky smuggler's inn. Apparently it's always quiet at this time of year, but all of a sudden loads of people start arriving, and this is going to be an interesting story about why, and a bit of a mystery and maybe some magic thrown in, I believe, so I'm looking forward to this. Next up is a book called Winter House by Ben Gutterson. This is about a young orphan. She gets sent to this house, this strange winter house, where she discovers a magical library, where she discovers a book with magical puzzles which could be the clues to unravelling some mystery about the house. I just think it sounds brilliant. It felt a bit wintry to me because of the name Winter House. Whether it's set at winter time or not, I don't know, but I think the setting itself is going to be cold and wintry and snowy, so I think this is a perfect read for this time of year as well. Next is the final book on my list, and that's 12 Nights by Andrew Zurcher. This is a book about a young girl, and her father goes off to work as usual. I think her and her family go to find him and discover that no one's ever heard of him at the job that he says he works at, and then these strange non-human people come to the window of this girl, and she goes on some sort of adventure, I believe. So we will find out a bit more about this, but it definitely sounds like a bit of a magical story. So much magic, so much mystery, so many snapshots into different people's lives. There'll be other books as well, because I will be reading the books for the readathon that I'm taking part in, so keep your eyes peeled for those books coming up soon. Have you read any of these? Can you recommend me where to start? Any of these pique your fancy? And keep an eye out for my reviews, which I will try and do as and when I've read a couple of books throughout the month, and let you know what I think of them. I love Christmas, and I love reading Christmassy books around Christmas, so I can't wait to get stuck into all of these. I will have another TBR going up towards the end of the month, because on Christmas Day, me and my husband and my daughter are actually going to Tenerife. We're going away. We're not flying Christmas Day, we're flying Boxing Day, but Christmas Day in late afternoon we are going to stay at the airport, which I'm very excited about. And so when we go away, I won't be picking Christmassy books to take with me. I'll be taking a week's worth of maybe more beachy reads, but we'll see. I haven't picked my TBR yet, so I will let you know when I have and put that TBR up. So anyway, for now I'm going to be looking at reading cold and Christmassy books, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, BookTube.